are live. Good
Hmm.
afternoon. We are live, Renee. Wow. Good afternoon, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I know you're rushing home or rushing to the studio from another
Yes.
event. What was happening this afternoon?
Yeah, we had a promotion to launch a new product or
Mhm.
to reintroduce some old products as well. And I was all the way out of town. So I was, myself and the team, we were busy with that. So I literally, you know, hustled to get here to do this. But
Thank you so much. Is this normal for you? Sometimes you're running between destination between spots
yeah,
trying to get
this
things
is
done.
this is pretty much what I'm accustomed to
Wow.
daily, 7 days a week. Yeah.
You're in business for yourself.
Yes, I am.
Um, Help me with this pronunciation. Bromeliad. How you pronounce this?
Bromeliad.
Bromeliad. What does it mean?
Bromeliad. It's a
What
beautiful flower. That's the meaning.
beautiful flower. Wow. Very appropriate. You are in beauty and makeup.
Sorry?
You are in beauty and makeup.
I didn't get that.
Sorry. Can you hear me now? You are in beauty and makeup.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Let's get started with who is Renee Chester.
Oh, well, I'm your friendly makeup artist. Yes, my name is Renee Chester.
Mhm.
I'm a makeup artist based in Guyana, but not restricted to Guyana. I I'm a makeup artist by certification, and all my certificates are international. I don't have any local certification. Um, the opportunities just presented themselves for me to study overseas, and that's what I grasped at. And I have my own studio, professional makeup studio, bromeliad.rnc. Well, the RNC is simply the initials of my name. And I work every day. I work hard. I'm passionate about what I do. And I'm hoping to just take my career to the next level. Every day, that's my aim.
Before we get into why you started the business, let's talk about certifying yourself. Did you go abroad to
Let's,
study? Let's
let's talk about what, sorry?
getting certified.
Right.
All right. Did you go abroad to study, or were these online courses? How did this happen?
I was just curious one day about where I can find a particular product. And when I did find the person who would have had to sell me the product, that person is a Hollywood trained makeup artist, Anita from Barbados, and she liked the little effort that I had put on doing my own makeup, and she encouraged me to do her class, which was a makeup class, and from that, I excelled in that, and then I went on to do my product training with Black Opal Cosmetics Company, and I pretty much just never stopped trying to learn new things.
So, how important, from what you've seen in this industry, how important it is to be certified?
Honestly, it is very, very important. Unfortunately, here in Guyana, not enough emphasis is placed on that because let's take, for instance, with all that I know and with all the certification throughout locally or within the Caribbean that I have, if I'm to migrate to the US, I would pretty much not be able to start out my career at the level I'm at because of not having the necessary certification. In America, you need a license to practice makeup or cosmetology. That's called an esthetician license. Now, I do not have that, but I definitely have plans on equipping myself with this certificate so I can broadly take my services overseas. Another important factor in which I stand by as to why it is important to be certified in not just makeup artistry, but in anything that you do. You know the word fundamentals, right?
Yes.
That is too overlooked. Some people have this excellent talent with their hands, and they can do the smoky eye, and they can put on eyelashes properly, and they can highlight, and they can contour. But while they're doing this, are they practicing the correct means of hygiene and sanitation? Are they equipped with the knowledge to handle themselves in certain situations if something is to happen? I really don't think so.
Mhm.
Now, in all of my studies, I have had the opportunity to have these trainings and have the emphasis strictly placed on those areas. Now, I stand firm and high when it comes to hygiene and sanitation practices in my field as a makeup artist. When I teach, I have a whole session dedicated to speaking about that because it is so easy for us to contract many, many ills from the beauty industry.
Mhm.
And I do not want to be responsible at any time for causing such stuff, adding to that gross part of the beauty industry.
Le-
So to answer your question once again, it is highly, highly important because it's way more than knowing what you can do with a canvas. It's so much more emphasis. There's so much more emphasis that needs to be placed on really getting to know the fundamentals of this job.
Renee, let's talk a little bit about your business and how it got started, the decision that you made to actually get into business for yourself. How did all of that come about?
Oh gosh, this job more so got into me.
Uh-huh.
This job found me. I did not have the aspirations growing up to become a makeup artist or a beautician or anything more rather in the beauty industry.
Mm.
I was totally into the arts, performing arts. I like history. I like literature, like English, and I wanted to be a teacher at one point. And then one point I wanted to be a singer. And then one point, because I did so well at track and field, I wanted to be at the Olympics. I wanted to do this. And at one point I was so set on becoming a dentist.
A
So
dentist.
I wasn't planning on having this, but once God sets a purpose for someone, there's no turning back. So I was wandering around in Barbados looking to find a particular product, and I met Anita Holder. She's a Hollywood trained makeup artist, and she was the product manager for Black Opal Cosmetics in Barbados at that time. Now, Guyana did not have someone officially representing the brand. Like they didn't have a product manager, they didn't have a distributor or anything like that. They were shops selling the brand, but they weren't official. So even that she was looking for somebody at that time. And I impressed her a little bit with the little effort that I placed on having my makeup done. Upon meeting her, and she was hosting a class, she encouraged me to join her 6 week class. I excelled at that class, and I started to, she told me to go on YouTube and just look at what the makeup and the beauty industry is right now. And prior to that, I didn't even know you could have used YouTube for anything more than watching music videos. The truth. So I spent hours and hours just fascinated that this is what's happening out there and I'm not a part of this. And if my teacher is telling me that I can do this and I am this good, maybe I should take it to the next level. And I told her if the opportunity is still available for someone in Guyana to sell these products, then just let me know. I think I can give it a try. Because I wasn't doing anything much. I was just doing like studies and so on. I didn't have like a 9 to 5 job. So I was given that opportunity and I packed a few of the products in my suitcase, clear customs, then clear customs in Guyana, it on BBM. BBM was the it thing back then. And I tell you, in less than a week, everything that I brought back was finished.
Did it surprise you?
It did surprise me because I hadn't a plan. I didn't know what I was getting into. I I didn't know if I just made an investment to waste my money. I didn't know, but I trusted that it's probably happening now for a reason.
So when you,
And fast forward to 9 years later,
uh-huh.
yeah,
Congratulations on longevity. Well, what do you think made this product sell back then? I know, okay, some will argue that if a product is good, it's going to sell itself, but that isn't always true. What type of strategy, what type of plan? Yeah, I mean, you said BBM, right? That's it. That's what you used.
what I can tell you is this, and I hope I answer your question. I I'm a pusher,
Mm.
and even though I just said that I didn't know what this new investment and this venture was going to turn into, I knew I wanted it to turn into something. So I just kept my focus on that. I'm doing this and I'm in it for the long run. I'm going to go ahead with it. My personality and the strategies that I studied and asked questions about on how can I do this and be successful at it. And I wasn't embarrassed or ashamed to ask other people in business, hey, how do I go about this? Or hey, I saw a course online, a marketing course, I saw this, I saw that, and I went ahead. And I equipped myself with the knowledge and the right personality that would help me to get successful and remain successful. So it was not easy, but I was willing to put in the work. And that's my story. That's how I moved from that to this.
When did you realize you were onto something with bromeliad?
I realized I was onto something when where I live, my private residence is not the typical place somebody wouldn't mind calling and coming over to get a product. But people were finding me. People were coming. So I told myself, you know what? If so much people so consistently is making the effort to come all the way to my personal residence, maybe if I situate myself in a more central location, I will even this type of business would triple. And that's what I did. I moved. I teamed up with a friend at that time. I used her space and I like literally couldn't even walk properly at the end of the day because I was on my feet selling my products and doing faces and talking all day about this awesome product and so on. And that is when I realized, okay, I'm good at this. I didn't even know I could have spoken this way. I'm good at this. And I realized that I can take it to something. So I started to invent ideas, come up with promotions on Saturdays, what I can do, how I could put a sale on a product and so on. And nobody else was doing what I was doing at that point to that level, at least I should say, or I wasn't aware. So I took full advantage on the fact that the market was wide open. So I think that's what propelled me to this level.
How did you deal with the competition when it arrived?
Um, I, I don't like when that question is thrown at me because then my answer would have to be something like, "What competition?" You know,
All right, let me recalibrate.
right? But and I don't want to have to answer a question like that and not make myself seem as someone who's not humble. However, my father told me that always think of yourself in everything you do, especially when it is something that could easily be copied. Think of yourself as a horse in a race. You notice that horses have blinders, right?
Right.
And that's for a purpose. That's because they only need to focus on the finish line. Sometimes these horses, especially the winning horse, always think that I'm just running and I'm winning and I'm succeeding, and there's nothing to the left or to the right to distract me. And that was so powerful. And my father gave me this information at such a young age, and I understood it, and I always use it to paddle through life. So I don't allow myself, I don't put myself in the position to be distracted. Now, I'm well aware as a businesswoman, I need to know who's doing what and what is doing what, but I don't allow what people are doing to intimidate me, because I have a very creative mind, and I'm thankful every day for that. And I always try to don't slack on my ideas. I try to just stay woke with my ideas, just put it out there. And every single time I act upon an idea that I have that would promote my business or myself, I'm always successful at it.
What is trending in the makeup field today?
Pardon?
What is trending in the makeup field?
What is trending now? It's like everything is all a trend at once. I think the emphasis on your eyebrows and highlighting and contouring is what is trending right now.
Any
In
tips? Any tips for women, or let's say let's specify the demographics. Any tips for Black women um, about makeup?
tips for women of color with makeup. Don't don't be intimidated by other shades.
Mm.
Do not be intimidated by other shades. You see
How
this
did
skin?
how did you overcome that?
I didn't have to overcome that. It was never an issue to me.
Mm.
I didn't have to deal with that. I
So
love
Renee,
myself. I love
you're
the way I look, and that's it for me.
you're a teacher.
Problem there.
You are a teacher. You're confident. Obviously, you're passionate. You're creative. You're innovative. What are you telling your students when they walk through that door, especially those who might have a little low self esteem, might be doubtful about the industry they're about to walk into? What are two typical things you tell them to inspire them or motivate them?
I'm excited to answer that question.
Go ahead, go for it.
Right. I really wish you could pull all of my students together and have them repeat what I'm about to say, just to let you know that this is something that I do mention all the time. A lot of people can tell you, love yourself, be yourself, don't study nobody, don't be intimidated. But you see, when I tell these girls these things and I share my personal experiences with struggles that I had, not with my complexion or fitting in the crowd, but I had other trials as well. But you see, when you really, really reach the point of knowing what you want,
Yes.
everything is easier.
I am only laughing because I underscore that.
Okay, great.
Yes, I really
Know
believe that.
what you want.
Know what.
Do not study what you look like. Do not study what you even have at the moment. Don't even study what you went through. Know the end game. See, I know what I want. I know when I have children, I want to afford to give them certain things. So I cannot lay around and mess up my life and still want perfection in the end. I know what I want, and I encourage everybody to simply know what you want. The minute you know what you want, then you start to focus on how to positively get it. And when you lay this out, everything is easier. My answer is nothing long on the question that you asked me. Just know what you want and love yourself in the process, because that is so cliche. Look how much people, motivational speakers, entertainers, everybody tell you love yourself, be yourself. Yeah, but really, really love yourself and be yourself.
Know
I
what you
know.
want. I know what you want.
Yeah, just know what you want, and that's good. It's like walking into a store looking for a white shirt with a specific button. As soon as the sales girl show you something else, what do you say? No, that's not it. No, no, no. Because you already know what you're there for. You get it, right?
Of course, I get it. Of course, I get it. In the 9 years,
Mhm.
what have you learned about yourself as a businesswoman?
I've learned a lot, but definitely one of the most um, impactful things that I've learned about myself is Renee, girl, you are patient.
Is that so?
You are, yes, yes. My staff would say to me, Ren, I could not have dealt with that situation the way you have. And what I'm talking about is especially dealing with people who are impatient.
Mm.
I I can wait and wait and wait for something that I want without getting fed up, but still, I could either be determined while being patient or I could sit back and be patient. I've also learned about myself that I've spent too much time depending on the people that don't really matter.
Wow.
I've I've waited on people to um step up to my expectations when in fact maybe I had placed too much on that person. So I developed an attitude of knowing things, learning new things, so I can do things myself and so on. That is patience as well. I am a people person, and I'm now learning how to speak up more because I'm more of a silent, but I get the job done type of person. But sometimes I realize that I need to be more vocal on how I feel, how people make me feel, while still being nice. I don't have to offend. If you
I get
grasp,
you.
yeah.
If you were in front of a group of young people about to step into business, one piece of advice. I know you said know what you want. That is great. But I'm going to challenge you to come up with something else. One piece of advice would you give them about business?
Sure. A piece of advice, other than knowing other than knowing what you want, because I will always mention that when that question is thrown. But I'm going to get a little deeper here.
Hmm.
While I respect all religions and who they praise and they worship, you can't do it alone, or you can't do it with just the loan from the bank. You need God. You need you need more than what mankind can provide. And if you don't know how to get on your knees and pray, and if you don't know how to ask God for what you want and believe that He can help you work towards what you want, then don't do this. Don't, I'm not encouraging you to be a failure or to give up on your dreams, but I am more so giving you the best advice that I can give you, which is what I even had to learn the hard way, depending on everybody else except God.
Mm.
So get close to Him and trust Him, speak with Him, let Him know what you want, and He will help you to get what you want. That is that is everything. It did so much for me. It humbled me too.
Renee, if you sat in front of me 5 years from now to tell me about your accomplishments, what is one, sorry about this, what is one accomplishment will you be telling me 5 years from now?
I'm working on something right now, and unfortunately, I cannot let it out of the bag publicly.
That's fine.
But I will be telling you about that thing that I have accomplished. But let me tell you something else that 5 years from now, I'm quite confident I will be able to express is the fact that I have definitely put a stamp in Guyana using my name and my brand as the first of something. Why I say it's something is because it still relates back to what what I cannot discuss publicly at the moment.
Okay.
But I will be definitely seen as an innovator. I don't want to put myself, I don't want to be the one to call myself a pioneer. I will leave that
Why
for
not?
public to honor me with that title. But I'm definitely working to those status and standards. That was so hard for me to answer because what I really want to say involves me letting the cat out of the bag, but I really can't.
Well, the cat is still protected. Renee, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Especially
me.
that you had to rush home or rush to the studio, wherever it is, and set up and get started. Thank you
Yes,
for
yes,
spending the
yes.
time.
All the way praying, driving that we don't get blackout
Oh,
or something.
the things we need to
Yeah, but
consider in Guyana, right?
I'm very honored for the opportunity and I wasn't going to miss this.
You're welcome. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye bye.